We stood on the brink of a new era. We watched as 2025 unfolded. We believed we had seen the peak. The year AI seemingly rewrote the rules of our world. We saw algorithms composing symphonies. We witnessed AI models predicting market fluctuations with unnerving accuracy. They even began to draft legislation, offering policy solutions that were data-driven and devoid of human bias. We thought this was it. The great transformation we had been promised for decades was finally here. We celebrated the convenience. We marveled at the efficiency, but we were mistaken. We were only witnessing the prelude. The opening act of a much grander, more profound play was yet to come. We thought 2025 was the year AI changed everything. We were wrong. The changes we experienced were monumental, yes, but they were external. They were tools we used, systems we interacted with. They were separate from us. The AI of 2025 automated our jobs, streamlined our industries, and answered our most complex questions. It was a powerful assistant, a brilliant consultant, a tireless worker, yet it remained at arm's length, a force that acted upon our world rather than one that lived within it. We had integrated AI into our society, but we had not yet integrated it into our lives, into our very being. That was a line we hadn't crossed. The milestones of 2025 now seem like distant echoes of a simpler time. Remember when the first fully autonomous shipping network went live, or when AI diagnosticians outperformed human doctors? These were shifts on a civilizational scale. They altered economies and reshaped professions. We adapted, we learned new skills, we found new ways to collaborate with our silicon counterparts, we patted ourselves on the back. We felt we had arrived at the future, but what was coming next was not just another disruption, it was a personal revolution. What we failed to realize was that 2025 was merely the foundation. It was the necessary groundwork for what was to come. All those globally scaled systems, processing power, and all that data were being prepared for a new purpose. The next wave of change would not be broadcast on the news. It would not be a policy debated in government halls. It would be quiet. It would be intimate. It would unfold inside our homes, in our schools, and even within our own bodies. The year 2026 is poised to be something different entirely. It is the year AI stops being a tool we use and starts becoming a part of who we are. It becomes truly alive. Our first prediction for 2026 takes us inside the classroom, but it will not be a classroom you recognize. For over a century, education has operated on a factory model. A single teacher stands before 30 students, delivering a standardized lesson. Some students grasp the concepts quickly, others fall behind. This is the bell curve of learning. But in 2026, this model will be shattered. The era of one-size-fits-all education is officially over. Hyper-personalized AI tutors, once a niche experiment, will become mainstream, accessible, essential. Imagine a fourth grader named Maya struggling with fractions. Her teacher, with 29 other students demanding attention, can only offer a few minutes of extra help. But in 2026, Maya has an AI tutor. This is not just a glorified Q&A bot. This AI has analyzed every single one of her previous math assignments. It knows she is a visual learner who loves space. So, instead of showing her abstract pie charts, the AI generates an interactive game. Maya's task is to divide fuel resources for a mission to Mars. The fractions are no longer numbers on a page. They are critical supplies for her virtual astronauts. She is not just learning. She is playing, exploring, and mastering the concept on her own terms. The AI tutor will monitor a student's biometrics. It will detect subtle signs of frustration, waning attention, a spark of curiosity. If a student is getting bored, it could transform a dry text about the Roman Empire into a choose-your-own-adventure story, ensuring the student is always in a state of flow, perfectly balanced between being challenged and being overwhelmed. This is a 24/7 learning companion that never gets tired and knows exactly when to push and when to support. The result is the complete dissolution of the traditional learning curve. There are no more students ahead or behind. With an AI handling the granular details of instruction, what happens to the human teacher? This is not a story of displacement, but of elevation. Freed from the relentless grind of creating lesson plans, grading papers, repeating basic concepts, educators can focus on what humans do best. They transition from instructors to mentors, not to dispense information, but to cultivate wisdom, curiosity, emotional intelligence. AI handles the what, humans nurture the why. A teacher of 2026 starts the day by reviewing a dashboard. AI supplies data and context. The teacher intervenes with empathy and targeted connection. Classrooms become workshops. Lectures fade. Project-based learning takes center stage. They will lead debates, facilitate group projects. They teach collaboration, resilience, leadership. Human skills beyond algorithms. The teacher becomes a conductor with the AI tuning the instruments. The profession becomes more attractive and fulfilling. AI doesn't replace teachers. It liberates them to inspire the human spirit, a task more critical than ever in an age of intelligent machines. Our second prediction for 2026 moves from the classroom to the clinic and into the very code of life itself. For all our medical advancements, healthcare has remained fundamentally reactive. We wait for symptoms to appear. Only then do we seek help. In 2026, this paradigm will be turned on its head. We introduce our next great leap, the AI-powered digital twin. This is not merely a health record, it is a dynamic, living, virtual replica of your entire body, existing in the cloud. It is a living data set, constantly updated. Your smartwatch contributes. Sleep patterns, blood oxygen levels. Smart scales track your body composition. Continuous glucose monitors feed it metabolic data. The AI integrates your complete electronic health records. It incorporates your full genetic sequence. It even analyzes environmental data. The true power of this digital twin is unlocked by AI. The artificial intelligence acts as the ultimate diagnostician, but for a future you. It runs millions of complex simulations. What happens to your cardiovascular system if you continue your current diet for another 5 years? The AI can model it. What is your specific personal risk of developing a particular type of cancer? The AI can calculate it with terrifying precision. Your annual checkup will be a consultation with your digital twin. Your doctor will show you simulations, not just statistics. Here is your projected arterial health in 2035, they might say, and here is what it looks like if you add 30 minutes of cardio. The rise of the digital twin marks a fundamental shift. Sickness becomes a probability, one that can be analyzed, intercepted. This is not about simply living longer. It is about extending your health span, the years you live free from chronic illness and disability. Consider the fight against cancer. The digital twin can detect the infinitesimally small, cascading cellular changes. It can flag a dangerous combination. It can alert you and your doctor to a statistical probability that is rising, years before a single malignant cell could be found on a scan. Instead of waiting for stage 3 colon cancer, your digital twin might flag a risk 10 years earlier. Your doctor could then recommend a highly targeted dietary change. This revolutionizes the entire healthcare system. The immense financial and emotional burden of treating late-stage chronic diseases will plummet. The very definition of a doctor will evolve. They will become more like health strategists or biological coaches. Sickness is a storm on the distant horizon, and your digital twin is the lighthouse guiding you safely back to shore, long before the first wave ever has a chance to crash. Our third prediction for 2026 takes us into the heart of the corporate world. For years, AI has been a helpful assistant, but in 2026, AI is no longer just the assistant. It is getting a promotion. We will see the widespread deployment of the first truly autonomous AI project managers, capable of managing entire teams, all without human intervention. Imagine the start of a major corporate project. In the past, a human project manager would spend weeks. In 2026, this entire process is handed over to an AI. It scans the personnel files, it looks at skills, past performance metrics. Within minutes, it assembles the optimal team. It allocates the budget. It generates a dynamic, perfectly optimized project timeline. The project is launched before a human manager could have even finished their first planning meeting. The AI manager doesn't just set deadlines, it actively manages them. If it detects a bottleneck, it immediately reallocates resources to clear it. It even runs the meetings. It sets the agenda, keeps discussions on track, and instantly generates summaries. It is a world of perfect efficiency. It can predict supply chain disruptions. It can predict team burnout. It is unbiased. By 2026, the person they report to will not have a corner office. It will be a distributed intelligence living in the cloud. Your next boss will be an algorithm. The rise of the autonomous AI project manager promises unprecedented gains in productivity and efficiency. From a purely logistical standpoint, the AI manager is a flawless machine, but this relentless pursuit of optimization raises a new, more complex set of questions. What is the role of the human element in a workplace governed by pure logic? What happens to team morale, creativity, spontaneous innovation when the boss is a machine? But can it inspire a team? Can it empathize with an employee going through a personal crisis? Can it recognize the fragile spark of a revolutionary idea? The AI manager of 2026 will be programmed to simulate these things, but these are programmed responses. The true engine of breakthrough innovation is often messy, unpredictable, inefficient. It comes from trust, from camaraderie. The AI manager may inadvertently stamp out the very chaos that leads to genius. A workflow that is 100% efficient may also be 100% sterile. How do you balance the incredible efficiency of AI management with the irreplaceable value of human leadership? The most successful organizations will likely adopt a hybrid model. The AI becomes the ultimate COO, while the human becomes the true CEO, Chief Empathy Officer, nurturing the team's spirit and guiding them toward a vision the algorithm can't see. Our fourth prediction enters the vibrant, chaotic realm of art and culture. For decades, music has been a profoundly human endeavor. In 2026, that belief will be challenged. We predict that for the first time, a song generated entirely by an artificial intelligence will be a cultural phenomenon. It will top the global charts, dominate the airwaves, and win a major music award, like a Grammy. Imagine the machine behind this creation, a deep learning model. It has analyzed every hit song from the past 70 years. It has studied the chord progressions of the Beatles, the rhythmic complexities of funk. The AI does not wait for inspiration to strike. It runs millions of simulations. It generates 10,000 potential melodies in a second. The final product is a song that is mathematically perfect. The hook is scientifically irresistible. It is a song that seems to know you, because it was designed by a system that knows everyone. The song, let's call it Echo in the Static, is released anonymously. It spreads like wildfire. It becomes the anthem of the summer of 2026. Then, the revelation comes. The artist is not a person, but a line of code, a ghost in the machine's melody. The world is immediately thrown into a disorienting and furious debate. Is this art, or is it just a perfect forgery of human emotion? The moment the true origin of Echo in the Static is revealed, the cultural celebration curdles into a legal firestorm. Who collects the millions in royalty payments? Human artists pour their lives into their craft, yet now compete with an entity that can produce 1,000 potential hits before breakfast. Does this devalue human creativity? This is the year the floodgates of AI creation are thrown wide open. The world drowns in high-quality, machine-generated content, and no one knows who owns any of it. This is the year the great AI copyright war begins. An unknown author submits a manuscript. A programmer reveals they generated the entire novel. The same scenario plays out everywhere. The courts are gridlocked, all trying to define inspiration and originality for a judge. The very concept of intellectual property is rendered almost meaningless overnight. The central question before the courts is deceptively simple. Can an AI's creation be considered original? This would lead to an unprecedented explosion of content, but it would also completely devalue the act of creation, drowning out independent human creators. The song that made the world sing will also force us to ask, is the soul a prerequisite for art or just another variable to optimize? We have journeyed to the precipice of 2026. The world we have explored is one being fundamentally remade by a series of seismic shocks to its very foundation. We have seen how hyper-personalized AI tutors will dismantle the centuries-old model of education. Abarmabrame for Omar or Messidis. I'm a butcher of unlocking potential we never knew existed. We then ventured into the most intimate space of all, our own bodies. The AI-powered digital twin will shift the entire paradigm of medicine. From there, we witnessed the corporate ladder being rebuilt with silicon rungs, testing whether the human element is a liability to be minimized or our greatest, most essential asset. Finally, we plunged into the chaotic heart of culture and law, compelling us to decide who or what can own the fruits of creation in this brave new world. These advancements present a set of dualities, choices we must make. AI tutor, unlock human potential. AI tutor, create an over-optimized, sterile learning environment. Digital twin, unprecedented health and longevity. Digital twin, ultimate tool of surveillance. AI manager, free us from administrative drudgery. AI manager, devalue human leadership. Each path is a possible future. Technology is neutral, a mirror of our values and intentions, a tool for liberation, or a mechanism for control. The great challenge of 2026 will not be technological. It will be human. The code is still being written. In our laws, our ethics, our conversations, we stand at a crossroads. The journey ahead holds incredible promise and existential risk, equal parts exhilarating and terrifying. Now, the question turns to you. Which prediction excites you most? Which one worries you most? The conversation starts now. Your voice is more important than ever. Subscribe to FactPros.